What's good, YouTube? And welcome to some absolutely ridiculous sales we have to talk about concerning the Blue Eyes White Dragon Ultimate Rare out of the new tournament pack. $326 freaking dollars. What happened? Was this shill bid? Was it pushed up? Because there are some ones right after that are selling for under half this price. I was watching right around then because I kind of want one of these for my collection. Konami did a great job with this card. Look at the actual ridged foiling, the amount of it on the card, not a sliver like Exodia. And I want to display one next to my SM51, even though it's not quite as nice as it still does give the vibes, and it's in English. I think that this card is kind of held in a special place in a lot of players' hearts for this specific art, the SDK art, and people have also wanted it to be an ultimate rare for a very long time. So this was one of the only two listings at the time, because the other one was a $350 listing, and I spy a bit of a damaged corner on it, and we'll go through what did happen after we have these $150 sales. I'm hearing a lot of these are moving in person around the $120 to $140, which versus fees on platforms, it was selling pretty consistent around the $160 to $180. That makes a bit of sense if you're trying to flip it faster. So shout outs to these guys for just like looking around and saying, I just want to move mine, and selling into the FOMO, and everybody going crazy at these prices, giving deals out. That's awesome to see. Now, the current listings look like this. We have two auctions, a $250 one that has a damaged corner, and a $350, which I spy a not so nice corner on also. The $250 one does end up highlighting it, where this $350, I kind of have to play I Spy. You see that bottom corner and the wear on it, and how it doesn't look as fresh when you're going back and forth. They turn it upside down, and you can see it a bit more clearly there. Now, with the $250 one, they really show it off. They let you know it's right there. Respect to the seller, at least on that. I think that a lot of people are going to be rushing towards this one. Blue Eyes is one of the mainstay cards for collections, as well as every time we look at it and we get surprised at a price where it goes ridiculously past where we thought it would be, then we say, oh yeah, it's Blue Eyes White Dragon, kind of like people say Charizard to some degree. I still am going to defend that I think our Charizard is Dark Magician Girl, and this is more of our high-end Pikachu. But jokes aside, this is actually selling like hotcakes on TCG Player 2 despite these lower listings. I just watched 3 of them sell at a bit lower in the last few hours. 162, 158, 155. These all went very recently, and you can see even more of them sold today at the lower range. These started out online around 110 to 120, and they just continue to go. So there's two sides to this, right? Supply and demand. And the supply is going to continue coming for a couple months, and then it's going to be cut off pretty much for good. We'll only see it peppered in at YCS events where it won't really be enough to push copies into the market. Like, we still see the occasional ultimate rare dad from bounty duels, right? But then, like, people are going to continue collecting this one and pushing towards it. So in the immediate, do I think it'll go down versus the demand? Actually, no, it kind of feels like a $180 card to me personally, and it might start to push $210 consistently. We keep seeing them auto-called and swept off the market for the most part, and they are repopulating at least, and you will continue to see people go to locals. And I'm seeing more and more in the comment section, even here actually, well, time to go back to locals, time to try to pull this, time to play for it. And that's pretty awesome to actually hear and see for Yu-Gi-Oh! Something worth it in their tournament packs. But I do think with how good this actually looks, that you'll continue to see that really high demand for it. But let me know your thoughts, because I'm also hearing a lot of, it's going to do nothing but go down. This is all that initial rush. The quantities are going to come in, and it's going to sink down. And I just don't know. I don't see it going under 120 personally, ever. But if it does come down in the immediate versus this initial rabid demand, it'll be interesting to watch for sure, versus all these people who are jumping in at 160 and might end up wanting 3 of them for that iconic playset. But again, we'll have to wait and see. I just want one to put next to an SM51 in my own collection. Quick sponsored shout out. We have Heritage Auctions over here with some interesting things, and I do know that Heritage Auctions has a bit of a shady past. You can look that up yourself. I'm only shouting out these auctions because one, somebody that has one of these listings wanted it shouted out, and B, I trust Arya a lot. If you don't know who Arya is, he's a longtime seller in the Facebook groups, and he's in charge of the Yu-Gi-Oh section over here. If his name's not on it, I don't trust it with Heritage, and his name is on it here. He's working, he's promoting, he's in the office on these. So with that, I don't think anything too shady will be going on with the Yu-Gi-Oh auctions personally, and there's some interesting pieces up. This is a first edition TDGS sheet, and for me, one of my last collection wants is an uncut sheet. So this is why stuff like this does pop up on my radar, and this is all no names on an ultimate rare sheet where the foil application wasn't put. I would wish that the ultimate rare foiling was on here personally, but 2 Stardust, Red Dragon Archfiend, Goyo before the errata. This is pretty darn cool, and Heritage also lets you like zoom in and see what you're looking at. Really high res. Then there's also the Kazuki Takahashi drawing of Kaiba here, signed by the man himself and authenticated by an employee who worked on the show for years. This is really freaking cool to see, and it's going up. Another one of my wants is actually an animation cell, and this kind of fills that same thing because, you know, worked on part of the show, that kind of stuff. This is very close to that for me, so I'm watching these two closely. Then there's also an LOB box and MRD box, both first edition, and I want to see what they go for in this current climate as things have really cooled off Yu-Gi-Oh! All the heats on Pokemon, all those COVID bucks are gone, and where will this actually land? And do keep in mind there's that buyer's premium, that auction house fee kind of thing. So I do include that in the price because that's what the buyer is going to be paying versus like this price. This is what it's actually selling for, and that's important to keep in mind when looking at these. Like this sheet is at 5,200 right now, not the bold 4,200. This is what the buyer is going to end up paying. So with Heritage Auctions, super interesting to watch these. Let me know what you think about the pieces and these high-end things. Do they disinterest you? Off-site auctions, that kind of stuff. Because I do still find them very important to keep up with the high-end market, especially with a lot of people looking for other places to buy than eBay and TCG Player. But I also understand if you're like shaky on Heritage because of their past. But as long as Arya's there, I'm personally good with it. And I've actually bought some stuff on there as well that I'll be showing off in the future. Battlin' Boxer King Dempsey is going up in price. This one's super interesting. It's around $7 at this point, and its specialty is it's a generic that you can take 1 level 4 or lower fire warrior or a Battlin' Boxing spell and trap from your deck and either add it to your hand and send it to your graveyard. You're able to trigger Lunalights with this. People are pointing out that the better XCs overall for this seems to be Nyarla, though, that only has 1 printing and is also starting to go up quickly in price, so you might want to get yours sooner than later if you are in the market for one of these. And yeah, it's up towards $2 some odd if you weren't aware. Again, for Lunalight, it seems. Let me know if it's being played in other decks. Ladies Dragon Maid, finally one where I can't put a plush to the side and make a joke about it. This Starlight Rare has gone way up in price. Dragon Maid's the eternal rival on Market Watch. Can't say I'm too surprised. It was sitting down under 70, and now it's 125. And somebody even spent 128 here twice, and then you see a $100 sale here, and most of them went out at 80. We talked about Jirac Volcano and how my Discord even forgot it was a deck for a bit, getting support in here, and it's done nothing but go up and has another double up on the horizon. There's one at 7 before they're all $10, and you can even see some sales in the $10 range now. Number 37, Hope Woven Dragon Spider Shark. This card is going up for Merlantians, and it has continued to do so, and now is around $7. Does it have a reprint not in gold? Let me look look that up real quick to make sure. No, this has no printing, so it's a number monster as well. And max rarity, and gold is actually one of the things that like actually looks good on Xyz. So be aware, this card is going up in price mainly for that. And I wouldn't underestimate that deck either in the Nat season and would be prepared to play against it. Mimighoul is getting more support, I guess, because of Master Duel. Okay. I said that wrong in a sense. More buyouts on the market, not more support coming on the horizon. Master Duel has imported it, and players are rushing at it, similar to the Exodia stuff, is how I should have worded that. Sorry if I jump scared you. Live editing done cheap. But Mimighoul Dungeon, both the Ultra Rare has consistently been coming back up in price, and the QCR is now back on buyout mode after doing nothing but dropping. So be aware that this is getting bought up. I'm hearing that, oh yeah, I know this local player, he's playing it and it looks pretty good. That kind of stuff. I feel like it's more of a casual, doesn't mean broke thing. People want to play something different, and they're consistently choosing a different option than really looking at the mainstay metagame with this one. Cyber Valley Quarter Century Secret Rare's done nothing but go up and is back on its double up towards $14, and the Super Rare is on buyout mode. Flashbacks to back in the day when this was $20. The Unlim is $15, and the first edition is towards $17. Almost just like when it was brand new. Blackwing Armed Wing did not receive a nice version of its card throughout the Quarter Century Secret promotion, and its first edition is now towards $51 lowest listed, and we can see sales are actually entering that range too. So be aware, yeah, cards that just missed out on getting a nice version still could become Starlight somewhere around here, couldn't they? And you can look through all the other versions, and it hasn't had one in a while, so you might want to get yours sooner than later if you're just playing past formats. But then again, the whole time wizard, time travel debacle is a thing for where you might be wanting to play. And finally, Heraclinos is going back towards where it used to be at $300. The ultimate rare lowest listed near mint is over $300, where the sales much lower, $155 to $140. Still way up from where it was, and kind of shocking because people actually chose the secret rare back in the day over the ulti for the most part, but it is a very nice looking ulti, and it's one of those things where times change, where people came around to the ultimate rare Black Rose Dragon, where people used to not like it, and now people love it. And I saw Simo arguing for it versus Ruxin, right? But it's one of those things where history kind of warps around. Dark Arm Dragon did this too, and now it's over here. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these conversations and deeper dives into certain particular important cards. And check out those auctions on Heritage Auctions. Even if you're not as interested in participating, it's still important to look. And again, not sponsored by Heritage, but one of the people actually pushing their auction. And I always want to be extremely clear with my audience on stuff like that as well. Thanks for watching, everybody.